I'm realizing how hard it is to like have people in my life and maintain working on my projects at the same time. It's really hard to like balance the different versions of me around people. Like part of me wants to sing and go make music, but I'm not comfortable like doing that when I'm entertaining guests, and that's part of it. Like I feel like I'm entertaining. I don't want to feel that way. And this whole like week, I had my boss just like, we got a new boss this year for spring training, and she was just like, I'm a fucking dick, bro. Dude, between like trying to manage all that, I genuinely feel a little burnt out this week, and that feels like I'm being tested a little bit, which kind of feels good because I know I'm like, if I'm being tested, that means that something's trying to stop me from getting to the next stage, and that means there's a next stage if something's trying to stop me. If I'm stagnant, then I'm not going anywhere. I feel like that was a really hard 2 weeks, but I think I genuinely showed up as my best self. I showed up as my best self, and I got everything done that I needed to get done. And now I just have these weeks coming after this job where I can genuinely just sit back and kind of be free a little bit. I know all my next steps, and it's kind of just like battling myself at this point to stay locked in and like consistently like keep showing up for myself. And if I keep showing up for myself, there's no possible way that the results won't follow that. At the end of the day, it's about stepping in. I was talking to my boy about this. At the end of the day, it's about stepping into that person. Like, my boy, he's 18, and like he's just going into that arc where he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. And I just gave him the book called The Alchemist, and it gives you this kind of census where you're trying to figure out your purpose in life. And when I was 18, that was like the biggest pivotal moment for me. Like, I was in college, hated my life, was dreading it, and boom, dropped out, started doing YouTube, and it definitely did not go the way I thought it would. My best friend robbed me like $8,000 fucking dollars, and I ended up having to go back to New York. And it wasn't really like a fun journey, but through all of it, like, I'm realizing the more I keep showing up for this lifetime, the more I step into the embodiment of what I'm trying to manifest. And it's probably the coolest phase of the entire journey that I've ever experienced, because it's been like 5 years, man. Deadass. No results. There's definitely been results, but none of the results that like, you know, that you would look at and be like, damn, like, that's okay, he's whoa. But like, to me, I've definitely made results, but I'm sitting on those results that like genuinely impact my life, that take me to the next chapter. But yeah, man, like I was telling my boy, like, you're stepping into this like version of you, and I realize like most people are at that fear stage where you start off and you have this dream, right? Like in The Alchemist, the dude from the crystal shop, like you got this dream, and you know, he wanted to go to Mecca. It was only a dream, and he just sat in that crystal shop, and the dream became more inspiring just being a dream than actually trying to live it. I think when you embark on this journey, you realize that fear is but a mental construct that we've created through society to keep the poor poor and the rich rich. Because if you instill fear in people, they'll always do what you want them to. I think that's a scary aspect. I honestly think why I'm making these videos is to step into the version of me that teaches people how to be that version of themselves, where they live a life where they're doing what they love. They're not sitting there stuck in a job, because we all start out stuck in a job. Like, they already got us beat on that. We're not fucking beat in that aspect, but that's where, like, if you read all these books and stuff, like, they all talk about the same thing. You gotta fucking come up with a plan. You got a desire, and you have to have full faith behind that desire. And you just keep showing up every single day with consistency, and you gotta make it happen. Because otherwise you're gonna fucking look back when you're 80 years old and you're gonna say, God, I wish I left that fucking crystal shop. Part of me is gonna look back and be like, yo, this is a wild journey. Like, actually wild. But the fact that there's so many, like, things on it, and the way that, like, YouTube has risen up over the years, like, there's communities and shit. Like, now, like, all these things that people transpire and their dreams, like, they're recognized. They're, like, alive now. People are talking about them. Like, you just have to change your algorithms and step into the forums of what you want. Like, I think that's the biggest thing in all in life. Like, what do you want? I think most people don't ask themselves that question with depth. What do you want? I've finally figured out what I want. And I'm still at that point. And that's vulnerable. I'm being really vulnerable with that. I'm still at that point where, look, there's certain things that hold me back. Like I'm pretty, at least I think I'm socially anxious, but I'm realizing I'm not that socially anxious. But I feel a little socially anxious, man. And I love music. And I'm trying to figure out that, like, if I got like 300 songs sitting in my vault. If I sit here and make all these songs, man, like, am I gonna be able to, like, actually perform them? I've never been good at performing. I haven't. And that's gonna be a real test on me, like, stepping into that confidence. And it's fucking scary, dude. It's uncomfortable. And I think the more I push myself into the uncomfortable, the more I grow. And I realize I've just been growing. Like, it's been small, but, like, I'm growing. And there might be, like, massive setbacks, but these setbacks are, like, push me astray from my goal. And these setbacks have also taught me so much. Like, I'm so much wiser now that I've gone through these experiences. I think a lot of us sit there and we take our pain and we let it define us. there was this one Uber driver, and he told me this when I was 18. I was in my like phase of just, I didn't really give a fuck. I was just asking whoever like for advice, man. Just like, if Uber was perfect, man. It was just me and the dude fucking driving. Then I'd start up a quick conversation, ask him for some life advice. Never seen him again. But this one guy, he said something that like really, just really stuck with me. And he said that, I was looking at him, he's just like your classic, like, definitely has some regrets in his life, man. And he was just like, look, man, you're young, right? And you got all this pain, right? You got all these things that have happened to you. You got some insecurities and shit. He was like, all this pain, man, you can let it define you, and you can go your whole life letting it define you. Or he was like, you can take that pain and you can define it. And then he dropped me off. And it was kind of like that just fucking sat with me. I was like, what? I was going through so much shit at the time too. Like so much. I had just moved out for the first time, and I was like just venturing out, being an adult. And it was fucking scary, dude. I didn't know who I was, and I realized like all these people around me, man, like they're just little kids like going through pain, man. Like things have happened to them. You got these fucking asshole adults who've taken advantage of them, or like people who've just taken advantage of them in like situations they couldn't control, and they put all that pain on themselves like it was their fault, and it's not at all. And you gotta realize like you can either grow from that shit, or you can fucking let it define you. And I've taken all these lessons in my life, and I really have tried my best. I've tried my absolute best to learn from these lessons. And the more that I learn from these lessons, the more I get closer to the key that unlocks self. And by unlocking self, you automatically allow your light to shine. And by allowing your light to shine, you subconsciously allow others to do the same. I think I just left the crystal shop and I'm walking through the desert. Or I'm about to be walking through the desert. I can't tell, man, but I'm about to meet the fucking alchemist.